Hello everyone, welcome to... Oh, that's very loud. Welcome to Infinite Prattle today. Today I'm going to talk about, it's a new year, it's come to the end of the series, and I'm going to talk about, like, New Year's resolutions, but things to keep every day. Really not resolutions, just everyday goals?
Hello and welcome to
Infinite Prattle!
unscripted, unedited prattle on everything, hosted by me, Stephen. Listen, like, share and subscribe, and enjoy the show.
Thank you very much for joining me today. As usual, ready to prattle on, Pepsi Max in hand, still awaiting that sponsorship. I'll never get it, will I? I'll never get it. Let's face it. You never know. Be optimistic, Stephen. 2025 may bring Pepsi Max sponsorship. What was I talking about? Oh yes, New Year's resolutions is. Oh, well, hello. Firstly, especially if it's your first episode. Thank you very much for joining in. I've had a few new followers on Instagram recently, so hopefully they're new listeners. Or I can entice them to listen. Yeah, just I thought I'd go through, like, not the usual, like, New Year's resolution stuff, but kind of me and Sarah were talking. And Sarah's my wife. We were talking about kind of New Year's resolutions, and I almost don't want to make a New Year's resolution. I kind of want to make something that's easy just to follow every day. You know, something that is kind of a resolution, but things that I can, little wins that will end up being big. You know what I mean? Just changing habits to change my life. Ooh, there you go. That could be a tagline for something. Maybe that could be the episode. Maybe that could be the. I'll have forgotten that by the end of recording to make that the episode title. So if that is the episode title, congratulate me in the comments. So yeah, I never really have New Year's resolutions. And if I do, like most people, rarely stick to them. I kind of have like a vague one that is easy-ish to follow. Generally involves trying to lose some weight or get in shape or improve fitness or travel more. And to be fair, that's kind of what it is this year. But it's more to do with like attaining something every day. So kind of being nice to myself, and kind of Sarah's is a bit vague, but I think the vaguer they are, the easier to achieve. So it keeps you driving on. I think sometimes when people, like, say, like, by the end of the year I'm going to have a six pack and they're like 30 stone, and you think, well, that's probably going to take longer than that. Fair play if you achieve it, but are you really going to lose like 15 stone in a year and have a six pack? And I don't know. Um, but yeah, so some of my targets, I think, really are just to. Some are based on work, and some are mainly it's personal, because obviously that's kind of where my life is. But unfortunately, we live in a consumer world where we have to go to work and earn money, or the majority of us do. And so some of them are work related. So I'm just wanted to basically tell you my thoughts on this episode as to what my New Year kind of entails, or I hope it will entail. So I'm going to get the first stuff out of the way, and that's going to be to do with the podcast and my business that I registered for a year ago. I've had no paid business from that, and that's a little bit disappointing, but I'm going to try and push that this year. I've not really been making too much of an effort. I've had a couple of quotes done by people, or I've done quotes for people. That's how you get business, Stephen. And they've not come back with me to yet. A couple of them were charities, so I think sometimes they don't realize how much things cost, or how much time costs for a business. So I don't believe they went anywhere else. That's kind of a good thing, that they didn't use me and they didn't go to anyone else that was undercutting. So um, we never know what this year will hold, but I think I'm just going to try and practice my skills in audio engineering. I'm going to try and make some templated things. So I kind of enjoyed doing the soundscape. That there's the reason I really started the business in the first place. I'm going to try and get on some free courses, even some paid courses. I'm going to try and organise all my audio equipment, make my room really, really nice. That's on progress. It always is in progress. I don't know how many times I've mentioned that in this podcast. Yeah, and I'm going to try and make some sample stuff. So I'm just going to record my own sounds. Going to try and make my own library. I'm going to get Sarah maybe to challenge me and come up with like a soundscape to try and do, and see if I can go off and achieve that. and then basically, produce a little few um, sample soundscapes, etc., just so I can entice people. Dex that was on the show, um, the voiceover. I've been considering maybe doing some voiceover stuff, maybe some voice acting. Um, Not sure how that's going to pan out. I'd like to do some acting in real life as well. So, along with the band stuff, I'd like to, take to stage at some point in 2025. So, looking into that. I've enjoyed being active in different things, and yeah. So basically, the business stuff, I'm gonna try and ramp up slightly, but not. I'm not gonna kill myself to try and do it. I've got a full-time job, but my big project commissioned at Christmas, so there's a little bit of heat off me in the work world as far as the pressures of getting that done. So I'll just move on to another project, but it won't be anywhere near finished normally. So I'm thinking I maybe can focus on my own little business and just try and create a little portfolio. So that's what I'm going to do there. And with the podcast itself, just kind of part of that business, really. Well, it is part of the business. I'm going to definitely push the video stuff. If it's not podcast episodes, I'm going to do some more vlogs, and then hopefully, when I get myself organised, it's all going to be part of organising my shit in my room. To be honest, it always looks like a disaster area, but we've just had massive wardrobes built, so I'm hoping there's a bit of space at the bottom of them, so I can kind of remove some of the stuff in this room that is just stationary and doesn't do anything at the moment, and then I can then do a bit more work and organising my stuff. First, retrievability. I've bought some like sliding shelves, so I want everything to be on a shelf. Retrievable, so I can just slide the shelf out. Everything's gonna be in like it's like foam insert trays, so I can just grab my gear. And I'm gonna have a charging station. It's gonna be cool. When I get it done, I'll take some pictures. But I'm hoping it's gonna be pretty cool, and it'll look the mutts nuts, as they say over here. So yeah, that's kind of like what my podcast doing. I want to try and also with the podcast is like get my Instagram game and my TikTok game up. To try and just get the podcast out there a bit more and make a bit more effort in advertising it, sending doing some voice samples and video samples and clips from the show. Um, just because I am a little bit lazy on that front, and I kind of just do the intro bit as the voice. I don't really take anything from the middle bit, and I need to do that a lot more to entice people. Give them intrigue and maybe think that out. And one actually, there's one thing I actually want to run past you guys, regular listeners. So I know I like choose a subject per episode, but what I'm thinking about doing in the off season, when this season ends, is coming up with a load of things that I want to talk about. Maybe stuff that I want to revisit, because I've been feeling that even though I honed the show down to about 20 minutes, I know sometimes we run to about 30, but at first it was like up to 30 minutes really. And I had the extra speak episodes, which were like up to 10, 15 minutes. Well, I kind of want to stick to that 20-minute format. So what I think I'm going to do going forward, and please let me know if you think this is a good idea, because you guys are the ones that are listening to it. I think it would be a good idea for me to get my ideas out and maybe come back and think about stuff and review what I've done. Is I'm going to pick a topic, and I'm just going to, probably each episode, I will say there's going to be like one or two topics per episode. But if I don't finish the topic, it will roll over into the next episode, and then I'll start the topic that came after that. But I'll announce another one, and it'll just keep going. So it's like rolling episodes. So it'll be like more episodic than standalone episodes. And I just think that might help me a little bit rather than try and rush, knowing I've got 20, 25 minutes to fit all this stuff into a subject. And going back and forth, it'll allow me to go, you know what, I'll just pick this up next time. And if it's 5 minutes of the next episode, that's all I need, then it's all I need. But if it's another half an episode or a full episode, then that's what it is. And I'll just go through that. So I'll probably just say, right, these are the topics this year, and I'll tick them off as I come to them. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. I think that for me will help the show, might help retention, and I think it will help me maybe get to the crux of what I'm trying to say, because I do prattle, I do ramble. That's the show. You get what you came here for. But I think it will maybe help assist me in a bit of a review, reflection, and coming back on and answering some of my own questions from the previous episode as well. Or it might enable me to get through 3 short subjects in an episode. So yeah, there's like the businessy, podcasty stuff out of the way. And with work, there's a few courses I want to go on to. Booked on NEBOSH, which is like a health and safety course. Um, and I just want to expand my knowledge and push the boundaries of myself and be a little bit more organized and look after myself a bit more at work as well. I'm pretty good in the job that I've got that I can separate myself stuff out a little bit. Christmas was a bit mad because I was on call and stuff, and it kind of throws you out when you're on call. For anyone that's done on call, it's not the best. I was also doing shift work as well. I've not done that in a couple of years, so doing odd nights was hard because it was like a night shift, then a day shift, then back to a night shift, then a couple of days on call, then back to a night shift. So that wasn't easy. It's never easy when you're used to it, to be fair. So I I think I'm just gonna try and just learn more, keep an open mind, push myself a bit more, and try and get some learning done from other departments as well. Try and see if I can go and embed myself with some different departments to see a different world of the railway and not keep myself in my own little cupboarded area. Um, so more personal goals aside from personal job, work job, and is losing weight. And I've said this before. I'm a chunky guy. I've always been a little chunky. I always thought I was fat at college, but I apparently wasn't. When you look back at photographs, like I definitely wasn't fat. I don't think I didn't have a six pack by any means, but I always felt like I had a massive fat belly still, and I really didn't. You look at pictures of me, and I'm like, yeah, you weren't ripped, but you weren't fat, dude. Like, now I'm fat. So I always said, like, when I lost all the wedding for the fat, when I lost all the fat for the wedding, should I say, I said I wasn't going to put it back on, and I kept it off quite well. Put a little bit back on, but it was good. Like Sarah was actually happy I'd put a bit back on. She thought I'd gone a bit too slim, which I disagreed with. I quite liked how I looked, but she liked me a little bit chunkier. So when I put like about half a stone, 3/4 of a stone back on, she was like, "No, stay that way. That's cool." And then unfortunately transferring to this job 2.5 years ago um, has just killed me. Like really, it's quite a mental job. Really, I sit very very still all day. If I'm honest with you, I'm on a lot of meetings, either in person or on Microsoft Teams. Other video messaging services are available. Um, and yeah, it's just I've just been a bit lazy in my personal life doing exercise. With my previous job, even though I would be sitting down quite a lot, I also moved around quite a lot more as well. And it's amazing how much that little bit of walking, that little bit of exercise, really really helps out. And I've probably put about, I'd hate to say, probably about 3 stone on. A lot of my clothes don't fit, so I've had to buy new clothes, and I hate that. And the reason I hate it is because I hate it because it's my fault as well. It's like a simple thing, like you just don't put stuff in your face or you go for a walk. But the stresses of life and stuff with Sarah even sometimes restricts me to do stuff, and I'm not saying that's an excuse or holding it against her. It's just that that's just how life is sometimes. But we both have made the kind of pledge to be better to ourselves and not restrict ourselves with food, but just eat better and try not to snack. And yeah, hopefully that'll come out. I don't know if you can hear in the background. My dog's barking. I don't know if that's coming over on the microphone. I'm guessing someone's delivering something. Can you hear that? I don't know. I don't know how well this mic's, but I've got some features to cut noise out, but I think it might be coming out. I'm not sure. Anyway, he hates the postman. I'm guessing it was the postman. Yeah, so we just kind of both made the pledge, to get a little bit trimmer. I definitely wanted to lose the weight that I've put on. I've got lots of nice clothes on to wear, loads of t-shirts that I can't get into anymore. Well, I can get into, but they're very very tight, and I don't like that look. I've like, even when I was slimmer, I would maybe wear a tighter t-shirt because I was like, I am slimmer. I feel comfortable enough with it. I still didn't really like it. I do like a little bit of loose fit to my t-shirts. and there's quite a few stuff that I can't fit into. So I know that's just health reasons as well. Obviously I've put 3 stone on probably. I don't even know. I don't even know how much I weigh. I just know that I've got a beer belly, as they say, or a fat belly, and I need to lose that. So that's a big thing. But again, it's not really a New Year's resolution as such. I'm just going to make a daily effort to not snack as much and just be more active. So if that means like walking to work or walking to the shops more, taking the dog out more, which will benefit him. Um, it's just little things like that, and hopefully building on them habits, more and more and more will mean that there's a positive outcome, and that's pretty much Sarah said as well. And I'm just gonna be kind of, I'm gonna try and be kinder to myself in the sense of, and I hate that phrase sometimes when people, oh, be kind, look after yourself, blah blah. But you have to, you have to, and I have a massive thing about not relaxing when Sarah's here. And this sounds ridiculous. I think I've spoke about it before, but I feel like I can't do the things I want to do when she's in the house. So when she goes away on holiday without me, or if she's out at work, or even when she's out at work, it doesn't really help me because I know that she's going to come back in, or I need to go and pick her up, and I can't really relax or start a job knowing that there's a time restriction on me. So generally, when she's in hospital, it's even though it's stressful in the fact that she's in hospital ill, it's the biggest time when I relax because I know that she's not returning home, and there's a definite time scale there because she normally goes in for 2 weeks, and that sounds really weird. So I'm gonna try to manage that myself and maybe get some counselling. I'm not one to consider counselling. I know people say it helps, but I've never thought it would. But I'm gonna see if I can manage it myself, and if I can't, then I am seriously gonna consider it. I get free counselling and stuff through my job, so I'm thinking it's not coming out of my pocket. I'm in a health insurance kind of scheme as well, so I can get free help through that as well. So I'm thinking that that might help me, gather my thoughts, um, and maybe help me in other ways as well. There's definitely something there that probably needs looking at. Um, it really does restrict me being creative and getting getting stuff done in general. Really, really, really does. I don't know if that's linked to another condition or anything like that. I've said before that I potentially have maybe autism or ADHD is probably the latter. But there's a really big blocker sometimes, and it's generally to do with Sarah being in the house or needing me, and um, yeah, I need to address that either personally, myself trying to do something, and being like trying to be less harsh on myself, or just seeking some help. I think. Anyway, another thing I'm trying to do is we're just trying to do more of my hobbies. It kind of links to it. It's just like do my hobbies a bit more, practice my hobbies more, and hopefully getting this room organised will help that. So there's a big push on that organisation side of it, and I'm hoping these wardrobes when I get them finished. I'm still bloody painting them, so when I get them finished, I think that will really help. But you say I'm not really one for New Year's resolutions. I'm thinking these things are little things I can do, so I think they're quite reasonable. And I don't really want to call them New Year's resolutions. It's just things I think I can achieve. Let's say a daily, a daily achievable thing. So each day I want to be able to say, um, I chose not to eat that, or I chose to have an alternative healthy snack, or I did eat healthily today, or I as well, maybe not just. It's an and/or. It's I also went for a walk, or I ate that chocolate bar, but I went and did an hour on the exercise bike because I've cracked that open. That's now in the dining room, ready to be used. So yeah, I think these different things will combine, and hopefully each one of them will spur me on for other things. So my mindset of getting stuff done in the house will give me a positive outlook, which will make me want to exercise or eat healthy, and the eating healthy will make me want to exercise, and the exercise will make me eat healthy. So it's like a triangle of success. I'm hoping, but I don't know. I don't know. But the weight thing definitely has to happen because it's not good for my health. I know I'm out of breath more. I definitely feel less fit, less flexible. Um, yeah, and I'm getting to that age now where I can't afford that. I'm 41, and this is a this is a bad time probably for being unfit. You know, there's a lot of things happening in your life when you start getting older, and I think I've got to accept that now. I feel in my brain like I'm still 20, but I'm definitely not. Yeah, and I think that sums it up really. I think if I stick to all them things, success will happen, and we shall see what 2025 comes. Oh, and travel as well. I definitely want to get out there, and so I'm definitely going to book a few of them holidays that we've been putting off, and get them booked in and paid for. Um, yeah. What's your plans for 2025? Do you believe in New Year's resolutions, or do you hold a daily target and try and get that into a habit which becomes part of your life, which is what I'm hoping for? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for listening. And until next time, keep prattling.
You've been listening to
Infinite Prattle!
Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, go back and listen to some others. And please continue to listening. Your support is muchly appreciated. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.